This looks really orange on camera. I promise it's not this orange in person. Okay? Okay. Really smart wearing a black hat with a black background, but it just happened and I look really white right now. Don't like that my ring light does that to me. Okay, let's hope better. So, hello, why am I still talking like that? Okay, I don't know. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I know you're wondering, I actually own another shirt in a different color. Surprising to me too. This is only just one of the like 4 that I own. So today I'm gonna be doing a fall themed video. I know, hooray for me, because it is the middle of October. Amazing, it's flying by. Not really that amazing, because my favorite month out of the whole year is flying by. Not liking it. So, but anyway, I am going to be doing a fall tag and a Halloween tag all shooped up in one, so I don't have to do 2, even though I'd love to. I just have a few more ideas for the month of October for some videos. So, I found a few lists on online. I can't remember the last time I did a tag. I think this is the only second tag I've ever done. And I think the only other one I did was the TMI tag. So, I think it's time to do another tag, don't you? Should we do the Halloween one first? I think so, only because it is October and it's the Halloween month of the year. So I just think we're gonna be doing that Halloween tag first. So, let's just jump right into the questions. So, number 1. What is your favorite horror movie? I don't know if I can just pick one favorite horror movie. This one is actually like really hard. You know, I do have to be cliche and have to say that the Halloween series is probably my favorite horror movie. The very original. I put my lights up at some point, well, yesterday and today, and they've been kind of falling down, so I don't know how to like keep them on my ceiling without using like 800 rolls of tape. Anyway, back to the questions. Well, my favorite horror movie would have to be the Halloween series. The original one, of course. I think it's gonna be the first Halloween and then Halloween H2O. Only because they both have Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Halloween and Halloween H2O. Question number 2. If you were in a horror movie, how far do you think you would get? 5 minutes, halfway, all the way to the end credits. Let's see, I am a woman and I am black. So who are the first people to go in horror movies? But that's just a cliche. So if I were a cliche, I'd probably be the first one to go out. However, I am a very smart person, I believe, when it comes to horror movies, so I feel like I'd make it to the end credits. Actually, I make it all the way where you have to watch all of the credits, and then I pop up at the end. Like, not just to the end credits, at the end of the end credits. That's how far I would think I would get. So question number 3. Favorite scary story? I don't know if I have a favorite scary story. Does anybody remember those books that we used to read in middle school, the scary stories? I think the one that actually freaked me out the most, there was actually 2 that freaked me out a lot. One was supposed to be like a comedy at the end, you know, when you're reading all those scary stories and they want to like have comedic relief. It was the one where the thing was like some girl or some guy was sleeping, and every time they opened their eyes, they'd see like a ghost figure. And every time it got closer and closer and closer until he or she opened his eyes again, and it was sitting at the end of their bed, and then all of a sudden it blows a raspberry. That one actually freaked me out because at night I thought I was gonna open my eyes and see that thing, so that freaked me out the most. And then there was also one about a guy's like big toe missing. So those are the 2 that freaked me out, I guess, so they weren't really my favorites. I read all of the scary story books in school, so yeah, that really didn't help you. But we're gonna move on to question number 4. What's one unusual thing that you're afraid of? Well, I'm not gonna mention what I'm actually afraid of because a lot of people use this against me, like especially my brothers. They're just kind of cruel, but that's what brothers do. However, my friends think it's funny too, as well as my mom. I don't think I ever told my dad, which I'm glad, because my dad was quite the prankster and that would have ended badly. It's an unusual thing I'm afraid of. Oh, one unusual thing I am afraid of is actually sneezing while driving. I don't know, I just feel like I'm gonna lose control of my car and I'm just gonna get into some sort of like big accident. So that's an unusual thing I'm afraid of, sneezing while driving. Question number 5. What's your first memory of Halloween? I had a very like early memory development, but yet my memory is like terrible, so I don't know how those two like work out in general, but it does, oddly. But my first like a very, very memorable one was Halloween of, I want to say 2001. Either 2000 or 2001. I went as Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. I like had the whole skidoo. I had the pigtails, I had the dress, I had the shoes, and my little brother actually went as Blue's Clues. So the only reason why it was so memorable was because when I wore my shoes, like we were walking around all night and my feet hurt so much, and I actually like in my mind was like, I should start clicking my shoes and I'm just gonna appear at home. But finally we got home and I literally like kicked my shoes off across the house, and it was the most amazing feeling I'd ever felt in my entire life. You know, girls, like when you kick your heels off at the end of the night, and just that phenomenal feeling, that's how I felt. And I believe I was like 6 or 7, around that age. Question number 6. What's your favorite Halloween memory? I don't know if I have one. You know, I think my favorite one was actually last year because it was the first time I got to hand out candy. Yeah, it's weird, but I was too young and I trick-or-treated up until I was about 14, which I have no shame about. Like, to this day, I'd probably still go trick-or-treating, and I'm 23. However, we had actually lived in an apartment for 13 years, so I never really got to hand out candy, so I was kind of disappointed. And then we moved into our house last year. Yeah, I got to hand out candy for the first time because we actually had a house, and I got to decorate the yard. So I do believe that last year, 2016 Halloween, was my favorite Halloween memory. Question number 7. What's your favorite, best Halloween costume you've had? Oh my goodness. I would have to say either my Dorothy costume, my, was it 2013 Halloween costume, which was Catwoman, or my 2015 costume, which was I went as Eazy-E, or last year I went as Lisa Turtle. I do actually have to say that Lisa Turtle was my best Halloween costume ever. Number 9, worst Halloween costume you've ever had? I never had one. Which is scarier, which leads us into question number 11, actually, I think. Or 9. Or 8. One of those. I don't know where we are. Which is scarier, werewolves or vampires? Depending on what kind of vampire and what kind of werewolf we're talking about. If we're talking about Twilight vampires, then werewolves. If we're talking about Vampire Diaries, vampires or werewolves, I would have to say both because Vampire Diaries made both of those actually very frightening. So, but in general, I would have to say werewolves. Ghosts or zombies? I believe ghosts because zombies, I feel like they move too slow and you can like kill them by like chopping their heads off. So, creepy dolls or creepy clowns? Both. Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, or Leatherface? I'm gonna say this now, Leatherface, because he was the realest out of them all. Actually a real person. That's why I think it's scarier. So that concludes our Halloween tag and all of our Halloween costumes. If you want to answer these Halloween tag questions, go to annaversuslife.com and you'll find them there. So, now we are going to be moving on to our fall tag, which is just a conjure of questions about fall, which really appeals to me because I am a fall queen. So I'm only gonna be answering a few of these questions. And just so you know, I put it in the last one too, or the last tag that we just did, the questions at the bottom. So I'm just gonna be kind of popping them all over the place, wherever, yeah. But anyway, I'm only gonna be answering a few of these because there is a lot and I don't wanna take up all of your time. So, these questions are from Tumblr in Queen of the Pumpkin Patch. So if you're looking for these questions, those are gonna be on Tumblr under Queen of the Pumpkin Patch. First question, what did you dress for as Halloween last year? Y'all know this because I kind of answered it already. It was Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell. Number 2, what is your favorite fall food? There's a certain fall food. Oh, well, I guess I would have to say probably pumpkin pie. Is that a fall food or is that a fall dessert? Well, we never know. Question number 3. Do you have any fall traditions? To decorate my house as fall-like as I can and try to go to any sort of apple orchard, pumpkin patch, corn maze, haunted maze, at least visit one haunted house. But that's about it. I don't really have any like fall type traditions, but that's about it. I feel like that's everybody's traditions, but yeah. Do you have any Halloween traditions? Not really. All of my Halloweens have been really different. Like each one has been very, very different. So I'm not sure what I'm doing this year, but you might find out in a vlog. Who knows? Question number 5. What music do you like to listen to during fall? I really like to stick towards like fall-like music, if that makes sense. More like chill, more like rainy mood type music. There is this, not new artist, but an artist I've recently started listening to called Bootstraps? Yeah, his name or their name is Bootstraps, and they have a very fall-like vibe about them. So does the Civil Wars. Actually, Demi Lovato's new album gives me very like fall-like vibes. But that's the kind of music I like to listen to. I like to listen to like a lot of chill music in general, but like more like study, moody, broody type music is what I like to listen to during fall. My favorite spooky movie. If we're not going horror, if we're going like spooky and more like cutesy, I like the Halloween Town movies. So I would have to say a spooky movie. It was really spooky to me when I was like a young kid. So, and oh, I would have to say probably Hocus Pocus. S'mores or pumpkin pie? S'mores or pumpkin pie? Oh my god. I don't think I could choose. Well, if it came down, life or death, I'd have to probably go s'mores. Hot chocolate or warm apple cider? You know, I tried warm apple cider. I don't know if it's like the kind I got from Walmart or if it's just not supposed to be warm and it's supposed to be refrigerated, but it didn't taste good to me. And I've always been a chocolate girl, no pun intended. So I would have to say hot chocolate. Okay, do you like pumpkin spice lattes? I did have a basic white girl in me at one point, which I kind of still do at sometimes. However, a couple years ago, I got really sick of the pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks. What is your favorite day of the year? I feel like you should know this, but it is October 31st. What would your familiar be if you had one? You know, I'm a very cat person, so like part of me feels like my familiar would be a cat, either like a version of, oh my god, I just had a mind-blown moment. Isn't the name of the cat in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, isn't her cat's name Salem? And my cat's name is Salem?
Yes!
Salem, what are you doing?
Nothing.
It looks like you're playing with a ball of yarn.
I have urges, Sabrina.
Look, can we deal with your issues later? I've got a bigger problem.
My yarn.
Whoa. It didn't even put 2 and 2 together. My cat, Salem, would either be my familiar or I would go like a Harry Potter route and have a owl as my familiar. What is the best thing about your town during fall? I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on during town, but I don't think I've been the one to like actually go out and like do stuff and like socialize because I'm a very big introvert. But then again, I am an extrovert. There is a word for it. It's called an ambivert, where you like social contact, but you really like being alone at the same time. However, I don't have very many friends, so I wouldn't know who to go with, and going by yourself is kind of a sad thing. Anyway, I would have to say the pumpkin patches and the corn mazes and the haunted houses would probably be the best thing about your town during fall, so it would have to be that. Next question, do you step on crunchy leaves just to hear their crunchy awesomeness? Of course. Do you like going to the pumpkin patch? I feel like everything I just explained like 2 questions ago would have to say yes. Do you go hiking through the woods during fall season? I would try to if we had woods. We have bike trails that are very woodsy-like, but other than that, no, because we don't really have woods here. And if we did, I would. Where do you buy your fall candles? I buy all my candles from Yankee Candle. Do you enjoy carving jack-o'-lanterns? When I moved to Sioux Falls, I think was the last time I probably carved a pumpkin. That was about 13 years ago. 13 or 14 years ago. It's the last time I carved a pumpkin. But, however, I do enjoy carving pumpkins when I get the chance. What is your favorite fall color? I would have to probably say the burnt orange color is what I really love during the fall, which is like the color that leaves turn when it starts getting colder and they start to fall off. So, yeah. That or mauves or reds are very fall-like to me, so I like those colors. Favorite tree? I don't know very many trees by name, but I do have to say an evergreen tree would have to be my favorite tree. Corn maze or haunted maze? Well, here in Sioux Falls, our corn maze turns into a haunted maze, so I would have to say both. But if I had to choose between the 2, I would have to say the haunted maze. Are you good at carving pumpkins? I would have to say no, since I haven't carved a pumpkin in 14 years. Spooky or sweet? Spooky. Do you enjoy visiting graveyards? I've never actually, okay, that's a lie. I've visited a graveyard twice in my life. I think I walked through an unmarked graveyard at one point here in Sioux Falls because Sioux Falls, South Dakota has a few reses on it. So you know that like the Indians have their unmarked graves. I've been on the Yankton Trails, which is the South Dakotan, the Lakotas tribes. My tribe is actually farther south. We're in like the Tennessee and Atlanta range and Virginia. They migrated up there at one point. Fact about me. However, yeah, I feel like I've walked on many unmarked graves, but I've never had really an urge to walk through graveyards. However, I probably would, but part of me feels like it's almost kind of disrespectful just to blatantly walk through graveyards because that's just where the dead is laying, like that's where they're resting. So unless you're going to visit a loved one who has passed on, I feel like just walking through graves is kind of disrespectful. But that's just me. However, in like movies, it's kind of creepy. I've always wanted to like walk through a graveyard at night, but I never really have. Only because of my views. What is your favorite fall memory? All of them. I really kind of enjoy fall in general. So I think my favorite fall memory is just me getting excited for fall. And probably my last fall with my dad last year. We walked around downtown together and just kind of almost went into every like boutique and everything. So that was last year, and I just have to say that was probably my favorite fall memory. Gloves or mittens? I would have to say, only because they're cute, probably mittens, but gloves give me more like freedom. However, I don't wear either because I feel so restricted with gloves or mittens, like I can't live my life. Like they restrict me from a lot of things. So, throughout the fall and the winter, I have very cold hands. Do you enjoy rain? I love rain. If it could rain all freaking year, I would love it. So I would have to move to a place where it rained all the time. I would probably end up in Seattle in the near future, just so you know. If you could spend fall anywhere, where would you choose? I know it sounds really, really cheesy. This is just one of the places. It is actually Forks, Washington, which is the place and setting in Twilight. It is a real place, and I watched a little documentary on Forks, and it's just this cute little town. Rains a lot, and it seems very fall-like. So I would have to say there, or however, that or London. I don't know, they just seem very fall-like to me. Do you enjoy other seasons? I really don't, because 1, summers are way too hot for me. 2, winters are way too cold for me. I don't like the snow. I don't like trugging in the snow. The only time I really like snow is if it's in pictures. And 3, I hate the spring because my hay fevers are really bad in the spring when the pollen starts to fall off the trees. I get really bad sinus infections. I can't breathe. I'm just miserable. So no, I don't like other seasons. Only fall, because nothing happens to me during that season. And I love it. And it's perfect weather, perfect time. You get all these fun activities to do. Now, do you enjoy Christmas? I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. I enjoyed Christmas before. However, because Christmas was my dad's favorite holiday during the year, it's really hard for me to find a liking for it anymore, only because I have to spend it without him for the rest of my life. So, I do enjoy Christmas. I just feel like it's gonna be a little harder to enjoy it from now on. So, what is your favorite store during fall when Spirit Halloween opens up? You enjoy cold weather. Not very cold weather. It can get down to about 50 degrees and I will be satisfied. One thing you would like to try during fall but haven't yet. I don't know. One thing you would like to try in fall that you haven't yet. I don't think there's anything. Probably go to the festivals in my town that I've never been to during fall. Who knows? That one might go unanswered. What do your friends and family think of your fall obsession? One of my friends thinks I'm crazy because she hates fall and I just don't understand her hate for fall, but that's just me. She's a very summer person, so I kind of understand it. My family, they think it's normal because I've always been like this. Like my whole life, I've been a fall person, so it's just a normal thing for them. All right, last but not least question. Do you have any fall/Halloween boards on Pinterest? You know what? I was trying to be all climactic about this, but it wasn't happening. But I do. So, if you want to find me on Pinterest, it's just my name, nothing fancy, Daisy Hopper. And it literally is fall. That's one of my Pinterest boards. Let's see if you can get up close and see this. No, wanna focus? Not wanna focus? Okay. That's my fall board. My other fall-like board I would have to say is probably, yeah, that's probably about it. So my sweater weather, my fall, my October, and Enter If You Dare, and my Mind, and my Grunge It Up Loud boards are kind of fall-like. So if you like Pinterest like I do, go ahead and follow me if you want. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this Halloween and fall tag. Now that you've gotten to know me just a little better about my fall obsession. However, so once again, we've come to the end of this tag video. Let me know what your favorite ones is. Go find these and even probably post them in the comments to let me know what your fall and Halloween tags are. So, I don't have anything else to say except I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next